Welcome to the second review of the Mystery Dungeon series, Explorers of the Sky.
Or of Sky if you're of America.
Of Sky. But here it sounds a lot better if you say of the sky.
It's much more dramatic that way.
Yeah. We did have it because this is the trilogy game for Explorers of Time and Explorers of Darkness, and it sounds a lot better without the for Explorers of the Time and Explorers of the Darkness.
But Sky is just special.
Darkness sounds a lot better. Actually, Darkness sounds a lot better with the.
Explorers of the Darkness.
Yeah. Makes it sound like you're in Kingdom Hearts.
That's true. Kingdom Hearts is light!
And darkness, and basically whatever the plot calls for.
Alright, so how we start... is this just, we're gonna talk about the Explorer series as a whole here?
May as well, because they're all pretty much the exact same game. It's, again, Explorers of the Sky is to Darkness and Time what Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, Platinum...
They stop.
And that's where it stops there.
Yeah, it stops at Platinum.
Yeah.
Or Z! Cross your finger, guys!
I'm still not too sure what to make of that yet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be... I'm still holding out for the fact that it's going to be Kanto remakes. That way, all generations are either directly or by one generation indirectly on the Pokemon Bank.
Right. Or, Sinnoh.
Too early for Sinnoh.
Why do you say that now?
Well, seeing as we are getting Generation 7 apparently, so I'm already a one of duds.
I don't know about Generation 7 so soon. How I know what soon is anymore, but we're getting off tangent.
Yeah. And this is why we started that secret project, so we wouldn't get off tangent.
But it's still a secret now. Alright. I didn't say anything, I promise.
Yeah. I'll announce what it is at the end of this, maybe, depending on what mood I'm in.
But, let's talk about Explorers.
Yes, and how are your thoughts on it, Mr. Rapper? Fascinating.
It's pretty long, actually. It's much longer than the Friend Zoo.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot longer with Explorers of the Sky being the longest of the three. So you've got something like... I'm actually going to cross-reference this now, but I want to say you've got almost 100 dungeons in Explorers of the Sky.
Does that add pre-game or post-game?
Pre and post. And the special... and the special levels.
And the pre-game, the main story itself is pretty hard.
Yeah, it is. In my current playthrough of Darkness, my test playthrough, I'm currently stuck at Crystal Crossing. But I don't want to restart it in order to save all my items, because I've now recruited myself a Beldum.
I should really, play that game again. I'm trying with Sky, but Sky is harder. It's actually harder than Time and Darkness.
Yeah, it is. Some parts of it are easier, though, than others. Again, I divert your attention to Amp Plains.
You're looking for...
I freaking hate that dungeon.
I bet you're looking forward to that when you're playing Darkness. Or did you beat already?
I look forward to it every time I have to play any of those games.
Beautiful.
Though, admittedly, I prefer to go back to Amp Plains than I do to Zero Isle.
Right. That depends.
Yeah.
Do you actually do all of Zero Isle?
I'm planning to.
Oh god. That's gonna take a while.
Yep.
So what do you think of this game's story?
I think the story is a lot more predictable than it is for Rainbow Rescue Team. With Rainbow Rescue Team, and spoiler territory for this part, assuming anyone really cares, the plot is that it's natural disasters causing all the mystery dungeons.
Right.
It's fair enough. With this one, it's again that same case, with this time, time is falling out of whack itself.
Right.
Which lends it very well for the Explorers of Time, but not Explorers of Darkness. But when you see all these characters, you go, okay, you're a bad guy, you're a bad guy, you're a bad guy, you're the good guy. Okay, this is all one big confusion.
Right.
And it just becomes very predictable from there.
Ooh, that Pokemon looks bad, and it's like a dark ghost thing type. I wonder if that's a good Pokemon. Poison type's automatically bad.
Yeah, and of course, you know Darkrai isn't a villain.
Somehow.
Yeah, of course not.
Well,
It's not like the Pokemon that is said to cause all your nightmares is going to be a bad guy in this.
no, nobody. Darkrai, he's not like a dark person, no.
No, not at all.
Wait, I
But-
have a theory with like the titles, like why it's called Explorers of Darkness and Explorers of Time.
Yeah?
It's not really because the theme of the story itself has to be around time. Time as in Dialga, darkness as in Palkia.
Palkia's space.
Well,
Darkrai's darkness.
I mean, yeah, Darkrai is darkness, but Explorers of Darkness, it's kind of like a Palkia, Dialga kind of thing, and how you evolve is really stupid. You have to recruit both Palkia and Dialga. Oh no, was it recruiting both Palkia and Dialga, or just recruiting Palkia?
Recruit them both. Trust me, I know. Because I've completed the post-game entirely, and I've still not been able to evolve until I've recruited both of them. It's recruiting them both.
I hate
And it's freaking stupid.
recruiting Dialga was one thing, but recruiting Palkia was so annoying.
Ugh. And mainly the evolution for Red and Blue Rescue Team. Yeah, okay, that's not really that much better. You have to wait till the post game, but it's available as soon as you start the post game.
Right.
With this one, you have to go halfway into the post game in order to evolve.
Pretty stupid, but I'm not looking forward to that.
Nor am I. At least all you have to do is watch. Still don't know it yet. Though the pieces may be finally starting to come together at last. Maybe. I've got the dungeon list up. Not including the demo dungeons, which here it only says 2, which I need to double check on. There's about 89 dungeons in Explorers of the Sky, and some of them are exclusive to Explorers of the Sky, so there's less in Darkness of Time. I was about to say Red and Blue Rescue Team, but actually they're pretty much the same. Because the one thing that got my attention last night, notice how many Pokemon games always have the theme of red versus blue,
Right.
with the third one being green, or
Yeah.
some kind of form.
Or like some kind of special one.
Yeah. Like, Pokemon Red and Blue, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and then Emerald. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which is basically light blue and pink, so close enough. X and Y, Red and Blue Rescue Team, Darkness and Time.
And Sky.
And Sky. Yeah, it just keeps going on and on and on with this.
Until we reached Black and White, in which there was no gray version.
No, we just got Black 2 and White 2. Which I personally think are better story-wise.
Yeah.
A little bit more to do. But, yeah. You've already mentioned it in the Secret Project, but if you want to bring it up again, then look at all the water dungeons!
7.5 out of 10, too many water dungeons.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is, you're gonna have a real tough time starting out if you start out with a fire type. Either...
Like I did.
Yeah. Either a partner or starter.
Yep.
And even the post games has a lot of water dungeons, like Kyogre's dungeon and Manaphy's and whatever.
You mean Manaphy's 3 dungeons?
Yeah, 3 dungeons. That's 4 dungeons that are in the post game that are water.
Yep.
And
I'll get into Manaphy later. but I've still got all the dungeon list up. So you've got Beach Cave, Bottomless Sea, Brine Cave, Craigie Coast, technically Crystal Cave and Crystal Crossing, but they don't really have any water Pokemon in them, so make of it as you will. Drenched Bluff, Guiding Sea. I'm just trying to go off these from what I remember the layout specifically. Lake Afar. Luminous Spring doesn't really count.
But really, that's a lot of dungeons.
Yeah. Miracle Sea. Still going. Pelipper Island.
Pelipper Island? That's not a dungeon.
No. Oh, yeah, right, it isn't. It's just got it here in list of dungeons for some reason. Parts of Sky Park, or Sky Peak. Spring Cave, sort of, but it's more heat-based. Oh wait, I think it was Spring or Steam, one of the two. The Surrounded Sea, Treacherous Waters, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh no, a lot of water dungeons.
A lot of water dungeons.
And speaking of starting out with water dungeons, like 2 dungeons in, you're in Drenched Bluff basically. And the problem I had to rescue a Ghastly, and guess what Ghastly can do?
It can levitate through walls!
And I wasn't a water type, so I had to wait till he gets out, and it was really annoying.
Yeah, pro tip, don't deal with ghost type dungeon or rescue missions unless you're a ghost type yourself. Like in Red Blue Rescue Team, you can become a ghost type for missions in the post-game, not for the main story.
And it's not, but it wasn't even only that, I had to wait for him to get out of the water.
Yep.
That could be an issue with any water type Pokemon that you're trying to find, which, like Shellos or something.
Yep. That's just annoying for annoying's sake, but you can thank RNG for that to an extent, because a lot of that is just the game deciding, okay, what direction do I want to move the character now?
Yeah, but it's kind of unfair starting out with hazards like deep water so early.
Yeah, especially when you consider the first dungeon for Red Blue Rescue Team was Tiny Woods, which, again, to show you how harder these games are in comparison to Red Blue Rescue Team. For the most part, mechanics aside, Tiny Woods 3 floors, Beach Cave 6 in with a boss fight.
Yeah, but then again, there might be some rumors, well, unspring rumors really. There might be some cases where in the Super Mystery Dungeon, there might be traps as early as level 15. But I can't prove that yet.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because traps start in Crystal Cave, I think it is, if not earlier, for Explorers of the Sky. Because I'm up to Crystal Crossing at the moment, I'm getting trip traps, spike traps, poison traps, monster houses, because they had to return.
So early though.
Yeah, they make it even worse now because you've got monster house bosses.
Oh?
That's the reason why I hate Amp Plains. It's a monster house boss. In Explorers of Darkness and Time, it's 8 Luxio and a Luxray. In Explorers of the Sky, and it's a bit easier in Explorers of the Sky, you've got about 6 or 7 Electrike and 1 Manectrike.
Right.
So, a little bit easier because thankfully we don't have Mega Evolution in Gen 4. If we did, I would have killed somebody.
Ooh, now that we have Mega Evolution Gen 5, I fear for the bosses.
Oh god.
I mean, not Gen 5, Gen 6.
Oh god. And we know Mega Evolution is in Super Mystery Dungeon. It's on the cover. Oh god.
Breathe. Super Mystery Dungeon isn't out yet, at least for you, for like another year or something.
I want it now.
Do you want me to do the first impressions of Super Mystery Dungeon?
If you want to.
I kinda want want to, because I want to buy that. I want to buy that game in a heartbeat.
It'll also be the one post on the site that I will completely ignore until launch here,
Right.
unless I can somehow get a early copy. Somehow, I highly doubt it.
Yeah. Do you have an American 3DS?
Nope.
Well, that's really tough.
Yep. But anyway, the one bit with Explorers of the Sky, Darkness and Time, there are a lot of little changes I do like the fact that you've got expanding inventory as you progress through the main story and post-game. The Exploration Team Association will give you a bigger treasure bag to hold more stuff, which is a life send when you're doing 99 floor dungeons.
Like how big? Oh yeah, like 3 pages long, I think.
No, it goes even further. I'm on page 4 at the moment in Darkness.
Wow.
No,
I think-
and I'm not even at the final tier of upgrades. So
I think it gives you like 5 pages, right?
5 or 6,
Right.
which I love them for because that means I can have like 2 pages filled with apples.
I think
A page of Reviver seeds.
page of orange berries, but you're not me.
Yeah. I like to play a little risky.
I can tell.
I should also probably say, hey, for future reference, no, I'm not a pyromaniac. Why you ask?
It's not like you start out with fire type or anything.
And laughed like a madman when I got Ember.
Oh,
Don't worry. But yeah, for every new change, there comes a downside. Monster House bosses aren't my biggest problem. Fucking mana fee.
oh, let's go on with the Manaphy story.
Insert Tetris Type A theme here and akin to what the completion does, because I'm going to go into a full-out rant here. One of the dungeons that you get for the post-game, you get a Manaphy egg. And you know it's a Manaphy egg because it's a special one, and I'll get to eggs later, because that's a new feature. Once Manaphy hatches, it will only eat blue gummies. You have to feed this Manaphy. Which means that unless you have 5 or 6 blue gummies, which I highly recommend you hoard from the get-go, you have to go through dungeon after dungeon after dungeon to find more. And unlike with the Chestnut mission in Rambler Rescue Team, you will not leave a dungeon exactly with at least one. One being all you need for that day. With this one, you could go to 5 different dungeons and not get a single blue gummy. Which means, and it just keeps going on and on and on until eventually Manaphy gets taken away because you feel like it's better for the child, and you get Manaphy back after you beat Darkrai, where he can finally talk, eat regular food, and becomes an actual useful character. I like Manaphy as a character because it does lead to some parental themes to it, but did it have to be fucking blue gummies?
Well,
Could it have not been apples?
or
Because I don't have like 50 of them.
or like some dewdrop thing in a dungeon, maybe. Like what they did with chestnuts. They should have done.
Yeah, that would have made it so much easier. But no, it had to be blue gummies.
Or if you're like me and use a little cheating device that just gives you free Wonder Mail, whatever you need.
And I will say, I may end up doing that if I have to.
Wonder Mail generator, I mean. Yeah.
Yep. I'll be doing that anyway for extra things, but if I need to for blue gummies, I'll take it.
Right. Ooh, want to add features I don't see a lot of people do? Trading. Krogan.
Yes. And the new treasure boxes, which I like. It works.
The thing is with trading with Krogan, I'm not sure how many people overlook this, but let's say you have a Torchic and you have like a star 1 trade thing. You trade up to like I think it would be like 3, 4, 5 star would be the final one, and you equip that. You don't even have to equip it Torchic, you just have to have it in your bag, if Torchic gets hit by a water attack, it will heal.
And that is so helpful.
Yeah, but it's like really annoying to get.
It's annoying to get, but seeing how powerful it is, I'm fine with it being that annoying to get. Because it is if it was any easier, it would be broken.
Right. Or,
and of course, you've got to have those balanced players who, if anything is even slightly overpowered, it has to be nerfed.
Or,
I'm looking at you, Smash Brothers fan base.
Or, Wonder Mail generators.
I actually tested. You can't get those items from Wonder Mail generators.
Really? How'd I get mine then?
I don't know, because I tried it myself, because I kept on getting stuck in Waterfall Cave in Darkness, and I needed Chimchar's powerful item. And nope! It wouldn't let me do it. Though it might be because I tried doing it earlier than when Zatu's Appraisals and Krogun's Swap Shop open up.
Then
that might be it. I need to retest it.
I think that's it, because I distinctly remember having mine.
Now I'm actually gonna test it now. Now I'll get up the Wonder Mail generator, boot on my game, see if it works. So if you want to keep talking, feel free to. I'll be back in a bit.
Alright. So while he's off doing that, maybe I'll go say what other new things are, like eggs, like you mentioned. Eggs will,
of course.
Yeah. Eggs appear in missions, which either gives you an egg for a Pokemon, which you drop off by chance and it will hatch into a level 1 or level 5?
They hatch at level 1, I think.
Right. It will just give you a random level 1 Pokemon, automatically recruit, or you can automatically recruit the client. So that's...
That was a feature in Red and Blue Rescue Team. There's a way you can kind of cheat the system with that. If it's because there are 2 different types of missions now. If it's a job on the left board, it's a 50-50 shot between an egg and recruiting that Pokemon. If it's on the right-hand board, it's gonna be an egg. Especially if it's from Officer Magnezone.
Right. And another question mark thing is you explore dungeons and then you get that dungeon.
Yep.
And
I currently have that for Landslide Cave in my test playthrough.
I remember getting that. I was a Pikachu, and it was an escort mission, and it was really annoying. Well, speaking of escort missions, here's a weird one. There are missions where Pokemon just want to explore with you. That's either going to the full dungeon, or you could find these rooms that you need keys for, I believe.
Yes, and they're kind of fun. My big problem with them is when you get into stuff like the Zero Isle ones, because they're at level 1, and you may not be able to, and they will burn through your Reviver seeds. And I mean burn through.
So keep an eye on those little babies. Ooh, whoops! Stepped on a warp trap. Guess you're on your own, guys.
That's why I always have a roll call orb.
Me too. Oh my god. Well, everything just fell. Let's see, what else did they add? I don't want to get to the Sky exclusives yet.
No.
What else did they add? There's Marowak's dungeon. Was there anything changed there?
Not really. It's pretty much the same thing. But instead of dungeon, because Marowak's dojo behaves the same as Makuhita's dojo and Red and Blue Rescue Team, the only difference is that in the post game, instead of giving these little dungeons based on special teams, like Alakazam's team, you instead get this special dungeon.
Right.
Which, while nice, is a pain.
Challenge. What else was there? at the end of when I played Time, I had this really weird mission where what was it? I think there was a sector involved. I can't remember. They like after you complete this dungeon, you just get a little star on your thing that says you can do special missions now. I forgot what that.
Yep.
What were the special missions?
What was the question again? Sorry, I was half distracted.
Alright. No, it's like there's this special quest that you can do. And after you complete that special quest, it will give you a star on your just on your file. And it was
Yes, one of them I know is the Blizzard Island mission, where you get the secret rank. That is to rescue Caesar from Blizzard Island and defeat Frost Ice.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So I want a blazing rock.
I never did Zero Isle. That looks terrifying.
Nor have I.
Good luck.
Help me.
I wish I can. I'll give you moral support. How about that?
Thanks.
You're welcome. Alright, is that all they added in the Explorer series? Should we get on to Sky exclusive now?
Yep. In which case you got special plot missions based around side characters, like how Igglybuff became the world famous Wigglytuff, kind of. A side chapter about Bidoof finding Jirachi, because he somehow found Jirachi. We get a mission with Team Charm, which I openly admit to be one of my favorite teams in the series. It's because I like the personalities. That's not something you should look too deeply into, by the way. You've got an extra mission with Broval and Dusknoir. And I want to say you get one with Sunflora?
Yes, you do.
Okay. And yeah, that's it.
And I'm not sure if these special missions actually give you anything. It's just little fun little missions you could do for story.
Yeah, it's 100% stuff, basically.
Yeah.
No extra little thing, but it's there if you want it.
They're pretty entertaining if you like the story.
Yep.
And one thing they added was Spinda's shop, like what was it, like Spinda's bar?
Cafe.
Yeah, Spinda's cafe.
Which I absolutely love, even though I hate the RNG factor of it, because it's thanks to Spinda's Cafe that you get access to Sky Peak, an entirely new post-game story based on a shaman village.
Right. I've never gotten that far in Sky though.
I've completed it. It's a lot of fun. The thing with Sky Peak though is that every 3 floors or so, the theme of the dungeon changes.
Right. Although what I do like about Spinda's Cafe, what you can do there, you can save your gummies to make drinks. So you can, the drinks are actually just better than gummies.
Yep.
They're just enhanced gummies. And you get Why Not's Recycle Shop, which I really love.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious, even though it just plays on the joke of his partner's a Wobba Fett, so all he says is Wobba Fett, but yeah, the two work with each other quite well.
Yeah, but what I really like about Why Not's and Wobba Fett's Recycle Club is that sometimes you just get these items that I just hate getting all the time, but you can just trade them for better things, like I forgot what the prices were, like TMs are a possibility, I think.
Yeah, and it's going with TMs, it's a problem I have with Red and Blue Rescue Team. TMs are useless in the main story if you're buying them from Capion's store. Like, I bought Hyper Beam for $9,000, completely useless at the moment, so I had to restart the entire session with that.
Well, unless if you find something like Return, and if you're a normal type, that's kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Or Ice Beam with a water type.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm not sure what you need. It's basically what moves that you're trying to look for, not the TMs itself.
Yeah. And I should also say, this is also back in the point where TMs were one use only, so you'll get the use TM item as soon as you finish the quest. As soon as you finish using them.
Unless we have recycle.
Yes.
So that's pretty helpful.
And yeah, I'm still typing the code.
You do that. Oh, what else? Oh yeah, and probably with the recycle job, there's a chance they give you blue gummies. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge for all of you who
Yes.
have trouble with Manaphy.
Yeah, I'm gonna... I'm going to, for the sake of my own sanity, also post the code, well, the code I used here, and I'll send you the code itself, so that way we can have more people to double check it.
Well, I'm sure.
Assuming it fails.
I'm sure after you unlock Frogunk and Zatu's appraisal, it should work. 'Cause
Oh fuck, I just realised I can't actually test it yet because I'm in the middle of Crystal Crossing.
okay.
Okay, I'll post this side annotation here somewhere as to whether it works or not, because I'll probably finish Crystal Crossing tonight.
Right.
Unless you have a copy of Explorers of Darkness or Time with a working save file and you want to test it now.
Ooh, what I do like about the Explorer series, which now that I remember what Dungeon Crystal Crossing was, I remember at the end of Crystal Crossing, your partner would ask, "Ooh, there's like crystals here. I wonder." Or maybe that's how you get to Crystal Crossing. I don't remember.
That's how you get to Crystal Crossing.
Right.
You get those at the end of Crystal Cave. Crystal Crossing is when you have the boss fight with Grovile, because Grovile's trying to steal time gears, which control time throughout the entire world, somehow.
And if you take a time gear, all time would stop at that particular moment.
The more time gears you steal, the wider spread the stopping of time gets.
And pretty soon, if that happens, the whole world would just freeze.
Stop.
Yeah.
And
that
yet, somehow there's a future where Pokemon are still moving around.
Maybe some Pokemon learn how to survive that. I don't know.
Maybe.
There's only three Pokemon. There's only three Pokemon that we know that can.
4. Actually, no, 5, but not including the dungeon ones. You've got Primal Dialga, so yes, Primal Reversion existed before it was cool. Dusknoir, Grovile, so yes, this is a bit of spoiler territory. Celebi, and also the boss Spiritomb.
If Dialga got a Primal Reversion in the core series, I'm gonna be so disappointed if it's not like in Time, Darkness, and Sky.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, no, this does not mean that Primal Palkia exists. It's just Primal Dialga.
And it looks really cool.
Oh yeah.
Primal Dialga is just kind of in the same bank with Shadow Lugia.
Yep. It actually seems they were... Gale of Darkness only came out a few years prior to Explorers of Darkness and Time, so they may have been working on this before that, or during Gale of Darkness' development, or at least in the concept phases of it.
Yeah. Well, I remember recalling Shellos was a Pokemon that was supposed to exist in 3rd gen.
Shellos and Gastrodon, yeah. So, maybe. Who knows? Because I don't particularly feel like digging through the source code.
Right. But what I was saying before, what I do like about this, the Explorer series, in the main story, sometimes after you complete a dungeon, when you get to the back of the dungeon, there would be a little thing for you to do, like in the story. And that kind of adds to the Explorer's part of the Explorer series, and I really like that.
Yeah. Especially because there will be points in the post-game where you get to the end of the dungeon, there's going to be like these 5 deluxe boxes, which, yeah, okay, it's not much, you just pick them up and go hit the warp tile to go, but even still, it's a nice reward because it says that you've completed this. Here's the hidden treasure that we had just for you.
And it's really helpful if you're trying to get that torchic thing, unless if you're, you know, like Blaster trying to cheat it in. But if you're working on this, it's really nice.
We need to test it for science.
Science, very important.
Yes. And I didn't spawn in the one for Torchic, I spawned in the one for Chimchar.
What?
Blazing Rough.
Why Chimchar?
Because Chimchar's the one I'm playing through, as in Darkness.
Wait, are you?
That's why.
Are you Chimchar or is your partner Chimchar?
I'm Chimchar. My partner's Piplup.
Alright. Oh, just like the little special that they had.
Yes, and I was actually wanting to get to that soon because they had two different specials, one for Explorers of Darkness and Time and one for Explorers of the Sky. Rainbow Rescue Team also had this, along with Gangster Infinity, but situations differed because of their stories. What I liked specifically about the two for the Explorers series is that the first one is the very start of the game, and the one for Explorers of the Sky is actually the one for near the end of the story.
Right.
Which I actually quite like, because it shows that these are the same characters. They've even got the same voice actors and everything. I quite like that.
Even though the Explorers of Sky special wasn't that really shorter than the Time Darkness one?
If it was shorter, it wasn't by much.
Right. I should really try to find the Sky special again. Those are hard to find right now. Well,
yeah. I'll see if I can find it on YouTube, because it's probably there. In fact, I think that's how I found it in the first place.
Go Getters Out of the Gate was really good.
Yeah, and I'm annoyed that it was exclusive to the short-lived Nintendo video, because now it's gone for good.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
unless it's on YouTube, which it probably is.
I still have that on my 3DS.
Yeah, I still have the app as well, I just don't care enough about it.
I still have Swap Note because Swap Note will live on.
Spot Note will never die. Did I say swap or spot?
You said Spot Note, it's really Swap Note.
Yeah. Void!
So...
Found it. Actually, no I didn't because it's really bad quality. I take it back. Yeah, I'll find it later, because I'll probably use it as video for this part. Here. Yeah, I'm still tearing myself how to edit. What else is there to say, though, with Explorers of the Sky?
Okay, we covered Special, we covered Fitness Cafe.
Do we cover the even more dungeons? Like a dungeon where you can recruit Arceus, which I never knew existed until I was doing research. I've never done it.
Oh, there's one thing you never knew before. In Sky, you could actually save at the crossroads where the water is.
Yeah, I never knew about that, but I had no reason to know about it. And the thing that you didn't know about it was that you can go back to the beach in Explorers of the Sky and get bottles which may have extra missions.
Oh yeah. It's just whatever missions you don't find in the guild, you find there.
Yeah. It's also a 50-50 chance of a bottle being there. It don't really do much, but at least it gives you an excuse to go back to the beach.
Yeah. So that isn't just useless territory going back to Beach Cave, even though you could just turn right to go to Beach Cave at the crossroads.
Yeah. I think the only other reason why you'd have to go back to Beach Cave is if you're going to go to the Hidden Land, because Lapras will be beached there, and she will take you back there. I want to say it's a she.
Hey, does it really matter?
Not really.
There you go.
Though, to be fair, in my head can Wigglytuff is basically a grown baby. Even sleeping with his eyes open.
He is a grown baby.
Yeah.
Have you seen him in the middle of the story? He was making funny faces.
True, and then he kicked Team Skull's ass like there was nothing.
This is very...
Which I find so hilarious.
This is very spoiler heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Utah!
Uh,
Wigglytuff for president.
yeah. Actually, on the subject of Wigglytuff, this is going to be a tough question. Who do you think's better, Guildmaster Wigglytuff or Friend Area Market Wigglytuff?
My headcanon is either they're the same person or they're related.
I agree with the same person because I still think that my headcanon, Diglett and Dugtrio are the same person, are the same people from Rainbow Rescue Team.
They probably moved. Because...
Yeah. In fact, I even think there's a point in the story where they say, we're gonna move.
Oh yeah.
So they moved to Treasure Town.
Somehow, even though Treasure Town is basically an island.
So is, whatever they called the first town.
They just call it Town Square.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that is an island too. But maybe there's something we're not seeing. Maybe they dug holes underwater.
Well, they are. Well, considering as they could somehow get a Diglett over the side of a cliff
It's like as if
in Mount Steel.
It's like as if my feet were walking on air.
You have feet.
It has feet. That's my favorite line from Magnemite.
Yeah.
Feet. It has them.
Why don't I have them? All I have is these little magnets. I never even get feet, though I do get a third stage. So.
Although Magnemite has a footprint.
Somehow.
Speaking of footprints, there's one thing we didn't cover. The Sentry minigame.
Yes, so every now and then when you're at the guild, you'll be asked to handle these little mini games where you stop potentially evil Pokemon coming into the guild.
And you could...
To do that, you get these footprints and you have to choose between 4 Pokemon. The faster you do it, the more points you get. One tiny problem with the entire point of the game. There are Pokemon that don't have feet.
Like, Dusknoir doesn't have a footprint. Although...
Officer Magnezone.
Although, I think they do don't they explain Dusknoir? Going over the Sentry Gate?
No, or their only explanation is that Dusknoir hasn't really been seen around here, so Diglett didn't know his footprint.
Whoa.
But he doesn't have feet.
The footprint is Dusknoir's. The footprint is Dusknoir's. How would you know that?
Yeah, it's the same as because Diglett does the same thing when he's trying to ID you. To which it led to a quote that I said being, I was a Gen 3 starter! I'm more important than you!
Okay, now here's a question for everybody. How does Diglett and Dugtrio get over the Sentry Gate?
Seeing as it's basically a wooden grate suspended in air.
Well, how they get in the guild in the first place?
Chat, are you noticing all the problems you have with the security system? To say nothing of the fact that your entire guild is built over the side of a cliff. So if Diglett, Dugtrio, or any rock and ground type Pokemon decide to use Earthquake, you're screwed! Okay, maybe not you specifically because you can fly, assuming you can fly through rubble.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter as long as Chad gets his money.
Yeah, true. And yes, that's one thing where, even though it's more story-based rather than anything, you still get the same amount of money that you would in Rainbow Rescue Team. However, when you are getting the money from the Pokemon, it'll say that, for the first time, you got 3,000 Poke, for example, when in actuality all you'll get is 300.
Right. And it keeps doing this until post-game, I believe.
Nope, even through post-game.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Which I think is absolutely stupid.
What I kind of like is that during the story, you're sleeping at the guild, so your save point is in your bed at the guild. But after post-story, you'll get to Sharpedo Bluff and sleep there.
Yep, and that's where your save point will be moved to. It's a nice bit of attention to detail.
Yeah, but you can still save at the guild if you're...
No, you can't.
You can't?
Nope.
Oh.
Because your room basically empties.
Right.
You can still save at that pond, but you can't save at the guild.
Right. I do like that.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of attention to detail.
Although I'm still waiting for like base customization.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for those billions and billions of Poke Dollars you stole from me, Shadow.
Shout out, come on, I want my money back. Better give it to me by Super Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, how about now?
I'm going to cook that bird.
Well, I am a fire type, so...
And I have...
Anyone for roast Chatot?
I'm an electric type.
True. And, yeah, you can pretty much blame all the jokes of that on her.
Yes. Oh, yes, you're playing Sky right now, right?
Yep.
Why don't you tell them what you picked as your starters?
I'll save the full thing because come Friday, there's going to be an extra video onto this channel. I am starting a Let's Play of Pokemon Mystery Dungeons Explorers of the Sky because I didn't want to waste 2 hours of footage on this alone. I wanted to reuse it. So, I am a Torchic. Marissa, who named herself Leroy, is a Shinx.
Well, Leroy's a guy, but okay.
Yeah, true. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, you named it, so it's you.
I'm a guy named Leroy.
Whether you like it or not, it is you now. You must live with the consequences. It is going to be a 100% playthrough of the dungeons. I'm going to also try and recruit all the legendaries. But that won't require backtracking to the dungeons I've already been to. I'll just fast forward to the boss. So far... Actually, no, I'll say that from there. At the moment, every bit of footage you've seen in this video is also going to be used in that video. We've recorded about 2 hours of footage of the game already, and we're going to be continuing to do that. So I hope you enjoy that, because that's pretty much going to be the daily Let's Play thing at the moment. If this goes well, I'm probably going to consider doing the same thing, but with 2 different games, so a 2-game weekly system. Depending on how this goes.
Right.
So, yeah, anything else you want to talk about with Explorers of the Sky? Which is turning out to be a much smaller review than Red and Blue Rescue Team did.
I'm not sure if there's much more that we didn't cover.
Yeah, because it's basically the same game as Red and Blue Rescue Team, just with a lot more refinements to it.
And whole new dungeons and areas and Pokemon and such. Oh, there's one thing.
Yep.
There's one thing. Sky has a different, has more starters than Time Darkness, right?
Yes, 5 new starters.
And some of them completely pointless, like Fantasy.
Yes, I don't get that one.
Alright, so...
But there are some I'm willing to let slide, like Riolu and Skitty, because I absolutely love those Pokemon and don't dare say otherwise.
And Shinx.
Of course.
I have a Shinx plush that's actually based on Explorers of Sky. Very interesting.
Yeah. And who the hell is this guy that... Another troll.
What are you doing?
I just got a message on Twitter. A bot saying, "What's a Sonic Chew?" Then I got this troll saying, "Well, Blaster is a Sonic Chew."
Oh.
They're not letting that one die for some reason. And it's rather pathetic.
I just kind of ignored those. If anything, I would probably block them.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now with this guy.
Alright, good. So, is there any more things that we have yet to cover?
Not that I can see. Oh yeah, the only other thing is... There's the jukebox feature which you get after you complete Sky Peak, and also there's this mythical thing with the Nintendo DS called DS Download Play. It allows you to download demos of games that you get either from the Wii or from games like this, where it'll send you demo-exclusive dungeons, which I won't be showing off, because they're demos.
Wait, what are the demo-exclusive dungeons?
The only one I can see from here is Trial Forest,
Right.
where all you can find is Combi, Snorlax, and Togekiss.
Right. Did Explorers did the Explorer series use Wi-Fi in any way?
They did, but it was to send out calls for help. Oh, I found the Explorers of the Sky exclusive dungeons along with the demo-only ones. You've got demo exclusives as Little Plains, Mount Clear, Challenge River, Trial Forest, Guiding Sea, Hidden Shopkeeper Village. Dungeons exclusive to Explorers of the Sky for the main story include Sky Peak Station Passes, Sky Peak Summit, Star Cave, Murky Forest, Eastern Cave, Fortune Ravine, Spring Cave, Southern Jungle, Boulder Quarry, Left Cave Path, Right Cave Path, Limestone Cavern, Barren Valley, Dark Wasteland, Spatial Cliffs, Dark Ice Mountain, Classical Forest, Vast Ice Mountain, Zero Idle Center, because I had to make a fifth one of those, Destiny Tower, Oblivion Forest, Treacherous Waters, Southeastern Islands, and Inferno Cave.
That is a lot of dungeons.
Yes.
Oh.
And even more when you consider the dungeons that were in Darkness in Time. There's even more. That's why I said there's about almost 100 dungeons in the game.
I remember there's a special dungeon that you get where you have to help. I can't remember. I think you have to help a Shinx get a skill from a Garchomp. It's not Gabite. It's not Garchomp. What's the thing in the middle?
That's Gabite.
Oh, that is Gabite. So, yeah, you have to get a skill from a Gabite. What does that sound like?
Gee, I wonder.
I just found it really nice how they added that in this game.
Yeah.
Even though, the first game, the special for the first game kind of copied the whole Skarmy thing with Diglett. Although this kind of goes almost word for word what the, special was for the Explorer series.
Yep.
It's just a nice detail. I hope they do some. I hope they make another special for Super Mystery Dungeon, because those were really fun to watch.
I'm hoping so as well. But yeah, who knows how they're going to do it, because I think the only reason why Gates to Infinity got one is because of the Nintendo video, and that's now gone.
Right. I never watched the Gates to Infinity one. Is that available on YouTube?
They probably are, because I know the Kid Icarus Uprising ones were uploaded to YouTube.
Right.
The Gates to Infinity ones were quite good. There was one where they talk about the Magna Gates with an Espeon and Umbreon, which I like the dynamic between the two. I thought they worked.
Yeah. But are you gonna be covering Gates to Infinity in the future?
I intend to once I get a copy of it for myself, because I still don't have a copy.
I heard Gates to Infinity. I didn't hear very good things about it.
If I'm doing it and you're going to join me for Super Mystery Dungeon, then you're joining me for Gates to Infinity as well.
The problem is,
if we're doing this, we're going all the way with it.
Does this mean I have to buy Gates to Infinity for myself?
Either that or rent it from a friend.
Damn.
You basically have to play it for yourself.
Damn it. I really don't want to play that game because it looks too easy. But I guess I have to.
If you're joining me for 3 of them, you might as well join me for the 4th.
Right. Although I cannot wait for Super Mystery Dungeon. That's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah.
But I think we're all done with the Explorer series.
Yeah.
We covered everything.
And I'll see you guys for that Let's Play, and for the next review, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, you don't mean.
No, I mean the series, not the movie.
Oh, thank God. Good.
I'm not touching that movie.
All right. Hope you have fun with that. I have all 3 series of the Avatar, 3 seasons, and it's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for the review itself though. But until then, see you guys next time.
See ya.